Hello, we're back again. It's me, your parasocial friend Jonathan from Beer Talks TO. Episode 5, back for another episode. You know, I noticed in our previous episodes that I'm very consistent with those hellos. You know,
Like, you think you're being like natural and like every time it's different, but it actually sounds the same.
it's the same.
It's rehearsed.
Every morning, John gets up and looks in the mirror and he goes,
Yeah.
"Hello."
Hello. 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 I don't, but it just comes out that way. Anyway, thanks for tuning back again to our 5th episode. I hope you guys liked the 4th episode. It was
Apparently, one of our favorites so far.
yeah, one of our favorites so far. I like that one too. Anyway, I'm back with my friends Stan and Addie, and before they complain, why don't you say hi first, Addie?
Hi.
And then Stan comes after.
Hi.
There's 2 Addies in the room. Anyway, we're back talking at you again at this gloomy Sunday. Is it gloomy over there for you guys?
Yeah, it's pretty gloomy on my side.
What if this is like a
Okay,
this is like a
Stan.
really sunny and great day when people are listening to this?
Well, it's
it's
gloomy
like,
for
oh, what
us.
a great day to listen to this on a Thursday. 'Cause
Okay, well
that's when
then
you're listening.
this is like a time capsule then. Okay? Sue me, okay?
Oh my god.
Like that's what we have. We gotta work with what we have.
You know what? I would gander that they probably don't have a
Gander.
Yes.
Oh,
I would.
okay. Big wording today.
I know. I would gander that it's not super pretty because by the time this episode comes up, it's like end of November. So it's probably also yucky and stuff. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying. I would gander.
You would gander. Okay. Okay.
You didn't even use reckon. You used gander.
I know, right? Big words.
Big word Addy today. That's what we have. We have a guest speaker. Big
word Addy.
words Addy. Big good words Addy.
Normal Addie makes a fumble.
Yeah. Addy is just like a stutter. She has a lisp. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Today we're gonna talk about things that I have no idea about.
As per
Actually,
usual.
As per usual, which is on point. But what I do know is the beer that we have, which
Ooh.
is Granite Brewery Ringberry Ale. Correct? Yes.
Correct.
You know, I like how honest the can is.
Tell me more.
Please.
Because you can tell that it's not like one of those big production places, right? Where they just have like it's those tin cans, like the regular beer cans, and then they just slap on their label on there.
Yeah.
The
It's not like
logo.
one of those like big breweries where like the entire
Correct,
can is
correct.
like engraved or something
Correct,
like that.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's low production, by the way. That's not a knock on
No, not at all.
on their design and their production. I'm just saying I like how honest.
It's an honest can.
Yeah. It's like some home brewers, where
It's very
where-
unassuming. Is that the right word?
I like that word. Sure.
Yeah.
It's like $5 for like regular. Yeah.
Sweet.
$5
Yeah.
for regular. Anyway, Stan, why don't you tell me about where this trail ends?
Sure. So this again is on the Ontario Beer Trail. This one is called the Granite Brewery. So the Granite Brewery is actually originally founded in Nova Scotia in 1980 by Kevin Keefe, who was inspired by this whole like English brew pub model. Like, so if you go to London and stuff like that, like it's very that. And so when I went and picked up this beer, it is very that. So you walk into literally a brew pub, which means it's like a pub in the front and they have like a full-on brewery in the back, and it's not the same as like other breweries I've been to where it's like a huge factory and there's like big giant metal containers in the back. There's just, based on what I saw anyway, there's like big brew barrels in the back, but like it's not a very big factory or anything. In the front it's just a brew pub. It's really cool. And then so this started in Nova Scotia in 1991. They opened in Toronto, and then Ron Cafe, which I assume is Kevin Cafe's brother, I guess took over. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure about this one. But anyway, Ron then in 2011 passed down the brewery, the brewmaster title, to his daughter, Mary Beth, who is continuing the tradition of, I guess, brewing the Granite Brewery beers in Toronto. And so like this is like a family-owned brewery. It's very cool. It's got a nice vibe in the pub, I thought. But then again, I went at like I think 2:30 in the afternoon on like a Thursday because I had the day off, and so yeah, it wasn't a lot of people, but you know, granted, for a Thursday afternoon at 2:30, like, you know, people were friendly, and like I feel like everybody who's there is kind of like, you know, old regulars. So I really like I really like the vibe.
Is it like you know the restaurant Three Brewers?
Yeah.
I do not.
It's I think there's one downtown if it's still there.
There used to be one here in Mississauga, and they do have the whole like barrels and the processing like in the restaurant.
Like it's visible, right? I remember
exactly.
that.
And I imagine like that's the same vibe with all the breweries that you've been to, Stan.
Yeah, based on what I saw, and like there are ones where it's like, I think for this one it's like a pub in the front, right? And it's very like everything's made of wood, right? And it's like old, like no, honestly, like think English, right? Because then like there, like I think there was one, I forgot which beer it was, but it was one beer where like I went to the actual brewery and like the entire back is like a full-on factory, and the front is very kind of like not steampunk, but it's like lots of exposed brick, lots of exposed like like very like hip. Right? And then like so this brewery is like a very different vibe. Yeah,
interesting fun fact, you can actually host weddings there. So on their website they have wedding packages that you can host at this brewery. I remember looking at it because like when I was planning my friend's wedding, I was looking at my wedding, I was like,
you looked at this place?
I did.
Whoa.
And I heavily considered it because I'm like, oh, it's like a really nice homey vibe there, and that was like kind of the vibe I wanted to go for. And like it was very reasonably priced, and I think because it was a brewery, the beers were included in their package, like no extra cost, which is obviously a plus.
Yes.
I mean, I found the word is rustic.
Oh, rustic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if the can brings rustic, but it does give
but the breweries that you guys are talking about.
Oh, like the aesthetic we're describing.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's rustic. I honestly don't know if rustic's the right word, because I feel like rustic gives me a different feel. This gives me very like
cottage vibes almost.
No,
not even.
No.
Oh,
like it's like old-timey pub.
Like literally like think of a quintessential English pub.
Yeah, it's like a pub.
I see.
We might have a different
I don't know
definition
how else to
for
explain it.
rustic then, because my definition of rustic is just comes as is. It's what it is, you know. Like it's rough, but like not dirty, but it's an organized mess. You know what I mean?
It's not that. Like I know what rustic, like for example, rustic I would imagine kind of like it's very cottagey with like maybe like campfire or like soft sofas, right? That's to me rustic,
like
right?
wooden cabin kind of situation.
Yeah. But this is like if you think like, you know, if you're going on it like think Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh,
okay. It's like you're adventuring, and then
medieval.
Yeah, a little bit.
What do they call it? A tavern.
Yes, it's taverny.
You know what's rustic to me?
What?
Tell me.
Nachos.
What?
What? Why?
I'm so confused.
Why?
You know when you get
Immediate
served
confusion. What?
You know when you get served a fully loaded nacho, where it's just like.
Are you thinking just rustic potatoes?
No. That's russet. You're thinking of russet potatoes.
I know. We're worried you're confused.
Yeah. So you know how like a nachos comes in, it's fully loaded, and it looks messy, but then it's like, you know, it's good and everything's good on it, and you know it tastes good, and it's like
Surreal.
Like the chips
rustic.
So I consider
the right word.
I consider that like a rustic vibe, you know. So
English
my point is rustic doesn't just apply to venues. I think it's like a whole vibe. Anyway, I opened my can already.
Worms everywhere.
I opened my can already, It's very clear. Well, not that clear.
Well, not that clear.
It looks like apple juice.
Oh.
Ooh.
A
Okay,
thick
I'm excited to
apple
open
juice,
this
though.
up. Oh, actually, no. Let's try the beer first before I talk about the notes.
All right.
They don't have a long description, so I think we can just
Vibe
kind
it.
of go at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
In line with the can design.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah, open your cans.
All right.
Oh,
Cheers.
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 Smell vibes. Smell vibes.
Wow.
Fruity.
Raspberry E, brother.
Oh, it's very fruity.
Probably one of the most fruity ones we've had.
I kind of like it.
Do you?
Yeah, it smells.
Like summer.
Yeah,
Right?
it does.
It's like a summer, it's like summer salad kind of situation. You know how when you have like berries in your, or like strawberries in your salad, and it adds this
Yes.
fruitiness to it. Yeah.
It's very front palate raspberry. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy, right? Like that's
No,
actually
it's
like
very raspberry.
I think it's
Like
because
ve-
the aroma hits you, and the first thing you taste is the berry.
I disagree with the aroma. I don't think that smells that strong. I mean, compared to the other ones that we've had, where you open the can and your room smells like, something. So I don't think it has that strong aroma. I'm not saying it doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, you're probably right. The raspberry is very front loaded, and then it becomes beer after,
Yeah.
right?
Like
So
it,
the
it goes
first-
away. You mean?
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's when you guys say fruity, it's like every sip that you have, the
Yeah.
initial taste would be fruity, but then it's
True.
just beer after.
True. True.
I mean, granted, like berries don't have a strong smell to begin with.
I just keep remembering that it's like sweet. Berries
I
to me
think
are
s-
just sweet.
I mean, I don't eat fruits, so but like strawberries to me smell a lot more aromatic than blueberries or raspberries.
True. I think raspberry is probably one of the lighter ones.
Like if you have a bowl of strawberries, you can smell it, but if you have a bowl of blueberries or raspberries,
You don't really smell it.
you don't really. Smell
You're right. I can't smell blueberries.
No,
Right.
not blueberries.
I'm trying so hard to remember. Like, what
to
does
remember
a blueberry
exactly right, what it
smell
smell like. Yeah, you know
I
what it
remember-
tastes
Oh, okay,
like.
I can't.
Yeah. I think in my mind, when I think of like raspberry flavored like tarts or like Danishes, it's a little bit like tart. Like there's like a little bit of a sourness to it. And I feel like I don't get it from the beer.
In my berry tier, raspberry is the lowest.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Oh dang.
You know
Blueberry-
what?
Blueberry is number one for me.
If I think about it, I think I agree with that assessment.
Wait,
Yeah,
Hold on,
so you
hold
guys
on.
gasp for dramatic
No,
effect.
no, 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 no.
No,
hold on.
I just, I'm like, oh, that's like a strong statement. But then if I really think about it, I'm like, is there a berry that would rank lower than okay, tell me, I don't like
Blackberries, because every bite has a freaking seed.
Every berry has a seed. You've just
Every berry has a
accepted-
seed.
But it's like noticeable. Like the blackberry seeds, like it's like it crunches.
I don't. I'm not a hater of blackberry. I like blackberries.
really. I
like blackberries more than raspberries. 'Cause the only reason is because raspberry is like so sour. A lot of like it's so tart. You know, like
Yeah.
I
yeah.
put blackberry.
No, my number
last.
one's strawberry.
Yeah, no, same. Number one, strawberry, then blueberry, then mulberry, then raspberry, and last is blackberry.
Because I feel like
Mulberry.
blueberries is a it's a trap because it's not blue. if you look at the
What do you
flesh, it's
mean?
not blue.
It's green.
It's not blue. Yeah,
It's
it's
green.
like it's clear, and like the blue just comes from. I'm just like I feel like a little bit deceived. It's delicious, but I feel a little deceived.
And if you get like blueberry stains on your shirt, it's purple. It's like not blue.
Okay, like I'm not 5, so I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry. I'm a
Alright,
message.
the
I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the
I'm
last
sorry.
stop for this for this train track that we got lost in. It was really funny. I just remember every time my niece and my nephew, they love blueberries. Like they love all
Oh,
fruits. My
okay.
sister raised them very well in that sense. And again, I don't eat that many fruits, right? So they'd go blueberry picking and they love it, right? Like they get fat off of like blueberries, right? And then
Okay.
they come home and they're like, "Oh, Tito, do you want some blueberries?" And I'm like, "Ew." And then they're like, and they would just pop it in their mouth like it's candy, you know? And they're like, "Come on, it's so good." I'm like, "No, brother, I'm good."
They're trying to peer pressure you.
They
Come on, it's so good,
are.
man. Come on, man.
Grown ass
Just try
man.
some. It's no big deal.
It's so funny. Anyway, any last notes for the beer? We really got sidetracked when we got started about berries. My bad. That's on me.
Oh man.
I
I like this
tier
beer.
list.
I
Yeah?
kind of like this beer. I feel like this beer is not like a go-to beer.
Right.
I don't think it's like I think that so this one I don't know if it's their signature beer, but I like this for the sweetness of it, and I think if I had this in the summer, I'd like it more.
True.
Same.
And what I will say is this is not a calamari beer.
No, this is. I feel like this would go with my like appetizer, like salad or something.
This is like a salad
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
Like if you have like beer pairings,
Yeah.
right, this would be like an appetizer beer.
Ooh,
I'd
yes,
have this
yes.
with just the regular ass New York cheesecake.
Okay.
Ooh,
Actually, I
okay,
feel
yeah,
like
I
that would
see
work.
that.
Yeah.
I see
Balances out.
that.
Yeah, balances out. I'm okay with
Just-
that.
I would just
Like a
have
little
this
bit
with-
salty, but also with the beer a little
Exactly.
bit bitter too.
Yeah.
It
Oh
just
man,
cuts
okay,
through
that's a
the
good pair.
thickness
It's
and
true,
you
it's
know,
true.
the richness, etc., etc. Also, when you pointed out the raspberries do come tart sometimes, I think the bitterness of the beer really covers that, so we
True.
don't really get any of the tartness. I'm not feeling it on the sides, on the cheeks,
Yeah,
the
me
bones, you know?
neither.
I'm wondering if
but
that's
I get a
why-
lot of the flavor though.
Yeah.
so, which is great. Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's why you say it's very front loaded, because like it's like the raspberry comes in first, but then the beer takes over. So
True.
then you don't get the tartness, but you still feel like, okay, but this is still a beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I'd recommend this to regular people. I recommend this to like I know the people who aren't beer drinkers, but like they like free drinks.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
They want to try.
True.
They want to try a beer. This is definitely really good at that. I think.
That's true. Yeah, I
Ready
actually
for the
know.
notes?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
So it goes, a beautiful raspberry aroma precedes this refreshing ale. Clean, crisp, and carbonated.
No,
That's
okay.
it.
Simple and to
Honestly-
the point.
Honestly,
Honest.
100%.
Yeah.
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 This is very in line with the beer can design.
It's one of those
Yeah.
like less is more situations. They just described it and then they left it.
And you know, I appreciate that a lot. You know, there's no bells or whistles. There's no,
True.
you know, flattery. There's no poetry in the.
They're not
in the
trying to lure
definition.
you in with a story.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
I'm burpy with this beer.
I think
Well,
it's
he
the
did say
carbonatedness. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm burpy with this beer.
Do you get that malt flavor though? I mean, maybe it's just the beer flavor to me. I feel like most beers taste like malty to me.
Like very
At the very
like, at the
end.
very
Like,
end.
yeah,
Yes,
at the
yes,
very
at
end.
Like it's like the berries like gone away,
Correct,
and then
yes.
you're like, ooh,
Alright,
okay,
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
Wow. This is what 50? How many episodes now? 20.
No,
45, 45.
45, yeah.
So this is our 45th beer. Okay, 44th because we said
Because
Steam
we had
Soul
one.
again. We had a redo.
Oh,
The
actually,
Steam Soul.
hold on. It's technically 45, 43rd or 42nd.
Oh, because
we
our
technically
finales.
didn't. Yeah, our finales. We didn't try new beer.
True.
We just drank a bunch of the.
But I'm just impressed at how, and this isn't, again, we don't really script this, especially not the beer part.
Yeah.
And we're never really in sync usually with
Yeah.
like taste buds and taste
True,
profile
true,
of the
true, true.
beers. But this one, I think like we're very much all. On
I
the
think
same
so.
line, the same.
I mean, this one is like very straightforward, right? It's
Ah,
just
you say that,
berries.
though.
It's like berries and then beer.
I understand, but you say that. But
Mm-hmm.
like, if this was our first beer season 1, episode 1,
We'll be like, yum.
I mean,
Fruit juice.
exactly. Exactly, and then we'd have big disagreements. Anyway,
True.
Granite Brewery Ringberry Ale. Oh, also it's an ale. It's not a lager.
Oh, true. True.
There's a difference, by the way, guys.
I
you
will
know,
look it up.
What's the difference, John?
So the difference is, I only know this because ale is 3 letters and lager is 5 letters. So, ale is equals to red, as in red wine, and lager is equals to white, as in white wine.
Oh, I literally thought you were just gonna be like, yeah, they spell different.
No. So like in terms of like profiles and like bodies and consistencies and like viscosity, they have parallels. So ales, this is more akin to a red wine would be versus a white wine, and you guys know the difference between red and white. It's very, very different. It's a very stark difference.
Yes, in fact, it is very different. The type of food that it pairs with,
Exactly.
the profile, the body, the taste.
Speaking of things being different, why don't we move on to what we're supposed to talk about today? Stan.
Yeah.
It's only been 5
What are-
episodes of you
what are-
being the production manager. It's okay.
I know, bro. Are you still surprised that it's on you?
Yo, honestly, like every single time I'm like, oh right, I have to do this because I'm so
Yeah.
used to Addie doing this.
No,
And like honestly,
bro.
so like people listen to this, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh okay, like they do this like, you know, fairly regularly. They must know what's going on. But people don't know. It's like sometimes we skip a couple of weeks and then like
We
I don't
forget.
yeah, like honestly, you guys were like, oh, like we talked like our last episode is one of our favorite. Honestly, I don't remember what we talked about.
Oh no.
Well, I listened to them twice, so I definitely.
Okay, because you edit, right? Like
Exactly.
after I record, I close the window and then like I forget about it. And sometimes when I listen to our released episodes, I'm like, oh yeah, we did talk about it.
Yeah, bro. And it is fun to like kind of, and like it actually very apt that I said it's a time capsule, because it kind of is. It's very much is time capsule. Anyways, Dan, I'll let you drive. Take the
All
lead.
right. Okay, it's gonna be a short drive. So like I just thought I wanted to get your guys' take, because I feel like there would be hot takes on this, right? And I don't know if like this is gonna be our episode title, but it's about tips and tipping, right?
Oh,
surprise! Left
I saw
turn.
the title. And I'm like, what the fuck? We have to give tips to people again? Didn't we do this before?
Oh my god.
We've done it before. No,
funny.
it's about tipping. It's about tipping.
Okay.
So like I have not strong opinions or feelings about tipping. I personally do feel like tipping is unfortunately sometimes necessary, but because, and I'm sure that both of you have similar experiences when we travel to different places, especially Asia or Europe, like they have a very different tipping culture.
Correct.
And then so I think in North America, like, you know, especially in big cities like Toronto, New York, I recently went to Miami, like the tips are insane, right? And then sometimes you're like, why? Because originally the menu prices are already like adjusted to higher, because they're like, oh, we have to pay our staff. And then I'm like, oh, but then if you're paying your staff, why am I still expected to tip like 20%?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? And then on top of all this is my own personal gripe, which is like, I don't like, if I tip, I don't want to tip lower, because I don't want people to be like all like cheap Asians, like, you know, like, and I don't know, this is like, this is like my own thing, and I've always had this like chip on my shoulder, and I totally recognize that this is like my own issue with this whole thing,
right? But
I've always been so afraid of people I don't know too, like looking at me and then they're like, oh, like generalizing Asian and then cheap. Right? So I am just curious about, like, you know, how you guys feel about tips, and maybe we can start with the question of like, if you go somewhere, right, like what is your kind of like tipping bar in North America, right? Like what is, like, how much do you tip in a North American restaurant, cafe, whatever?
Okay, wait. Just to give some background context, because I feel like us three all worked at food and service industry. Correct?
Yes, at one point, yes.
At one point,
At one point in our life, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
And therefore, I feel like we do have a very good grasp. And I don't know, I'm not sure about Addie, because I don't think we've talked about this enough. But I feel like me and Stan, where we worked, is very different in food and industry and service industry. So I don't know where Addie comes to that. So I actually think that we do have pretty... what do you call this? Substantial opinions about this. Like we're not just talking out of our butt this time. I feel like we do have some kind of background.
No, we never do, Joe. This time? What do you mean this time?
You're trying to give us more credit. Like this is why it's kind of okay for us to have an opinion.
Exactly. We actually have some credibility for this, I think. Right? Anyway, that said, you can go answer Stan's question, Ads.
I will preface this by saying I may come off like I sound very passionate about things. It's just the way that I talk. I don't actually have super strong opinions about this. I do and I don't. So I do think tipping culture has kind of gotten out of hand lately, like in the recent years. Originally, like right out of COVID, people were like tipping a little bit more because, like, we understand through COVID, some people did struggle, especially the service industry. So people were a little bit more generous. I remember growing up, like 10% was just a standard, right? Like you would tip 10% standard. If they were great, you'd tip a little bit more. Post-COVID, like every button starts at 15%.
15?
Yeah,
I haven't seen 15 in a long time. Everything I see is like 18 plus. 18 is already low. Yeah.
Really?
Everywhere I go.
Yeah, I've seen it goes like 15, 18, 20, 25. Like I've seen like that kind of range. But like I said, like nothing lower than 15 is your first button. Let's just put it that way. Like unless you're going to be that person to click other.
That's me.
And 99 times out of 100, it's 15% on top of the post-tax total.
Yes.
And
like, why, dude? Why am I tipping on tax?
It's not. You're not supposed to. Like tipping culture, because you're not tipping on tax. You're supposed to look at, the pre-tax total, and you tip on that. So if it's like post-tax, at like 10 to 12% is a lot already, because like you're tipping you've calculated tax in there, right? Like to me it's like you're not supposed to anyways, so why am I going to put 15% on top of tax? That doesn't that doesn't make sense to me.
Normally how much would you tip? Like you go to a restaurant, you eat, I don't know, like dinner, and also do you consistently tip the same thing, or
no? So
so tell me what's your standard?
I usually, like I said, my minimum is usually 10. That's like my bar. And then I do tip based on service. Like, I'm sorry, if you're a shitty server, or if I have to wave you 5 times to get a glass of water, and if I have to wave you down 3 more times in order to ask where my food is, and it's been half an hour, and you're like, sorry, we're busy. I'm like, no, you're a restaurant. In half an hour, I could have cooked this myself. Like, I'm not going to give you 20%. Having said that, on the flip side, if you give me great service, like you check up on me, you make suggestions, you without prompt find out it's someone's birthday and you do something special. And I'm not even talking about like give me a free dessert or anything. Like just even say like, hey, happy birthday, happy to tip more than 10% for you. Right? Like when Eric and I went to a restaurant once, like they found out we were just newly engaged, like the servers came over, they like gave us free shots, and I'm just like, oh, this is like unprompted. It wasn't like I'm waving them down going like, we just got engaged.
waving
my ring around. Like, no, it wasn't that. It just like had come up, or like they overheard us, I think. And they just did that. And I'm like, wow, that is so sweet. Happy to tip 15-20% for that meal. You know what I mean? So for me, it is really service based. And again, I've worked in the service industry. I earn my tips. Like I give you service to earn my tips. I don't just expect it. So that's how I treat it now when I tip, at restaurants or services.
Right.
John, what about you?
I'm very much on the same boat, but I think I'm like 98% based on service.
Okay, so what is your baseline tip?
Baseline tip's like 5%.
Oh, okay. So
dang.
you start
Okay.
at 5.
You're like, you gotta earn my 10%.
Yeah, bro. Because I worked at the industry too, and like you said, and it's one of the things that I pride myself in with being empathetic, and that's where I was really like, that's where you get to practice your empathy, is in like the service industry.
True. And
like,
patience.
And well, on top of that, right?
Yeah.
That's just a given. But when I can see that, like you said, like sometimes servers are slow, and sometimes like it's really hectic, and like they're responsible for 2 sections because one server called in sick or whatever, right?
Right.
And you can see them like hustling around and all that stuff, and I get that, and I've been there, and I understand entirely. And is that gonna affect my tip? Still, yeah, a little bit. Like
depending on how they handle it, right? If they're
Exactly.
apologetic about it and they're trying their best, no problem. It's when they're unapologetic about it and they're like giving you as the customer crap. They're like, can't you see I'm busy? It's like, excuse me?
There's a very graceful way of doing it, right?
True.
And I'm not about here to give tips on how to get more tips, but back in my day, in my day, it was very much like, it was a game. It was like a mind game thing that I would play with the server, with the customers, right? And with the regulars that we have, right? Like, just for example, if we only have 1 wine bottle left. Also, I worked at fine dining, so it was very like up there. So the tips are like, the bills are big, so the tips are big.
Yeah,
Naturally, even 5%
Exactly.
is like bigger.
Exactly, right? So it wasn't like the wage was just a bonus at that point. And I remember there would be a time when this one regular would be like, they always come for this specific wine bottle, right? And there's only 1 wine bottle left, and it's like, like 9 p.m. and we still have like 2-3 hours left to be open. And I tell him, I'd be like, hey, and this isn't a lie, by the way, and he'd be like, hey, we're running short on the wine, so I suggest these other wines. And he's like, oh, this and that, whatever. I really like that wine, that's the only reason I come here, etc., etc. And I would be like, okay, let me talk to the manager, I'll see what I can do. When really, it's really not that hard. I'm like, okay, fine. We'll just say like we're out of stock after, right?
Yeah.
And I'd come back to the said customer, and I'd be like, so I pulled some strings, And this, you know,
Yeah,
like
I get it.
Really, make it more grand and stuff.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I love you so much. You know, this is why I come back here. Like, you're such a great server, etc., right? And then
Right,
boom,
right.
like $200 for tip, right, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing that you have to kind of. And I'm not saying take advantage of people, obviously.
No, but it's like the
No, no,
song
no.
and dance.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I
Exactly,
think it's-
correct.
Yeah, right.
That's
it's like
the script,
part of
right?
the dining experience.
Exactly.
For places like this.
And to touch on what Stan said, it is kind of getting blown out of proportion now. And
Mm-hmm.
and you know, if you really look into it much deeper, and like, you know, the inflation and just like
Right.
living expenses, right? Like, and the effect of it is like, oh, we could just blow up tipping. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like one side effect, like the ripple in that, you know, stone that is dropped in the lake of finances.
Yeah.
Right? One of the effects is that is a tipping thing. And
Right.
short answer is that I only tip based off of service. Long answer is there's a lot of things. There are a lot of moving parts with the tipping stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I actually stand with the whole issue you have with like Asian being considered, you know, cheap and whatever.
Yeah.
It is only ever that when I go to Asian restaurants and they look at the bill, it is only ever at Asian restaurants that they would go, oh, only 5%. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I've had someone come back to me. I think it was like a Chinese New Year's dinner. We tipped like 10%, and actually we tipped 10% on the after tax total too.
On top of
That, and then the as before she even walked away, the server was like, you know, it's the holidays. Maybe you want to tip more. Not even kidding.
Oh my god.
That's what I mean. Like the audacity, right?
Yeah.
It's so, you know, the Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. Like, where did we
Like, what happened?
get here?
Yeah.
How did we get here to like, okay, bro, firstly, I'm not, you know, legally obligated to give you a tip.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know why you're trying to make a scene
Right.
about putting me on blast about 5%. I can make it a lot less, you know?
I could take it back.
And again, this is based off of their service, right? And I
Right,
know
right.
some Asian restaurants, you're not really there for some fine dining experience, and I get that.
Yeah.
But like, you don't just do that and it's only ever been in Asian restaurants. So maybe your experience is backed off of the restaurant specific to that culture. You know what I mean? I'm not sure.
No, I think for me it's like I've always felt, I don't know, this is like a internal issue that I have to unpack and resolve, but like I've always like been kind of tied around like, oh, you know, Asians are cheap or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then so I always, so like, you know, Addie, you said your baseline is 10%, John, your baseline is 5%. So like I'm very different. So my baseline is always 15. Like no matter, like if you give me like the bare minimum service is 15. And it's because not because I'm trying to like, like flaunt wealth or whatever. Like honestly, I don't have that much wealth to flaunt, and this is why I don't eat out often. But I'm always like, okay, so growing up, I don't know where and how this came to be, but my kind of like standard for tip is 15%.
Oh, growing
It's
up
always
even?
been 15. So when you said that, it went from 10 to, I was like, I've never experienced
Oh, wow.
a life where normal tip is 10%.
Oh, wow.
I've never experienced that. And then like now my standard, well, not like standard, but like my experience now is like people are expecting like 18, 20, 22 as baseline. And I'm like, I don't know, for me, that's really crazy,
It's a lot.
you know?
What's even crazier, I think, is, I mean, Starbucks, right?
Okay, you know what? Let me just touch on this point so
Yeah,
quick
yeah,
because
yeah.
I have so many thoughts about this.
It's not gonna be
I-
quick.
No, it's maybe not. So I used to work at Starbucks, right?
Oh,
And then
okay.
so
Which one? I'm just kidding.
No.
I was like, do you really want me to? I worked at a good store. Okay, I worked at a good store. I had a good team. So back in my day,
Yes.
right? Like where not everything is like tap and whatever.
Yes.
Like people still pay with cash a lot of the times. To be
Yeah.
honest, tip is like not expected or
Existent.
required at all.
Yeah.
Like we have a little like can for a tip jar, but the can is so small that it barely fits like maybe like 10 coins, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
It's so sad because
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
just not what's expected, right?
Right.
And then
Correct.
like the neighborhood that I worked in, it's a very prominent neighborhood. Like there's like political figures, like celebrities,
bougie.
like very high, like people wear Rolexes
Yeah.
into our stores.
Dang.
Right, and then it's like, oh, okay, and then so like they are very generous with the staff that serves them, and then so we were very blessed, but it was just not expected at all. And then so I don't know when this happened, but like I have not worked there for a long time.
Yeah.
But when coffee shops started expecting like when they turn the little tablet towards you and then they're like 10%. At first, I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess, I guess so." Like, that's fine, and like 10%,
Really?
or like whatever.
Continue.
But now, I'm like, "Oh, I press other and I say no tip."
Yeah.
At coffee stores, and there are certain things where I'm like, I don't understand why I'm tipping. So then I will be like, no tip.
Yeah. 100%.
No tip.
On the same.
Do you guys feel the same way?
I feel
like,
the same way.
I feel like a diabolical.
No, not at all. Not
No,
at all.
no.
Takeout shops, like they do ask, like takeout shops do ask. I will click like no tip or skip or whatever the option is, because like you literally just punched in my order and I'm picking up my food and walking out of your store.
Have you been to those places where like they turn the thing around and then they block out the no tip option? They put a sticker over it.
Yeah, I'm like, no, this is not happening. Like, this
Brother,
is not
I will
like.
bring out a microscope so that the tip of my finger can click at the corner of what is not covered by that sticker.
In the same line as that, I don't know if you guys have been to these restaurants, but there has been kind of like a whole, not a lot, but there's few restaurants where their style is you order at a counter and you pick up everything yourself, including like the chopsticks, the cups, the drinks, and everything.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be very like self-serve and welcoming, whatever. They still expect tip there, and I'm like, no, you're basically a takeout restaurant dressed up as a restaurant. Like, no, like I'm still ordering at a counter, and then I'm still bringing the food to my table, and I literally even chopsticks I had to pick up myself, and you expect me to tip you? Like, what service are you giving me? I'm like, I don't tip at those. Like, I think there's like a noodle shop in Scarborough that's like that. There's like a dim sum shop in Northbrook that's like that, and I'm just like, I'm not tipping you. You don't even bring me tea. Like, I had to grab my own tea. Like,
You didn't do anything for me.
yeah.
You did your job. That's
Right.
You tell me to give you a tip for your job. There was no,
Yeah.
Every bubble tea places have have that as well.
True.
Everything and everywhere. It's actually like, I don't know, like I think it was after COVID where like I think I went to a cafe somewhere and then they turned the tablet around and I saw 18% as the minimum.
On
and
a
there's
coffee?
no note. Yeah, on a coffee. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna tip as much as I paid for my coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe you should relax.
What the heck?
That is nuts.
And then I think one day I'm just like, no, I'm not tipping on things I don't think deserve tip anymore.
True.
I think that's fair.
I think honestly, and it sounds ridiculous. This would be equal to like if you go to a grocery store and you're cashing out.
Oh yeah.
And then
It's like self-serve and then you're like,
exactly.
You know what? I think what also gets me about this tipping culture is it is starting to become that some people just feel entitled to it. And like it's no longer like, thanks for the tip. It's just like, are you not gonna tip? Like, it's that attitude that
I hate it too
me.
when they make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like so for example, like I'm like a big proponent of grocery delivery, right? Just because like in my household we only have one car and like we live in like kind of a neighborhood situation, so it's really hard to kind of coordinate like car availability to pick up groceries and because of our schedules and anyway, long story.
The convenience is just
Right, and the convenience is there, right? And then so like a lot of the time it is like grocery delivery or even like Uber Eats and things like that.
Right.
But then what happens now is just like a lot of the times, Uber and like I specifically, I'm calling Uber out because I know they do this. So they will kind of inflate the prices on the menus of Uber Eats items.
Oh yes.
Right.
They do.
But then they'll send you like like discount codes or whatever, and it's like like 40% off or like whatever. It's like it's huge discount,
right?
Which really just means that you're paying regular price for what you're ordering, right? But then the tip comes out to be the before discount prices, so you're literally paying like I think at one point it was like my order was like $90 something for like 2 items, but after discount it was like $40 or $30 or like $15 each for like
Dang.
And like that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, great, Uber Eats. But then like if you don't pay attention, you're tipping like 9, 10, 11. Like at one point I'm like, why am I tipping $15 for like what?
Yeah. So true.
Right? And I'm like, what is this? Like, dude, I get that like these drivers work really hard, and like
Yes.
everybody needs the cash, but like this is not the way to do it, man. Like,
I agree. I practice employment law, and I've always been the person where like, look, I'm not trying to say that I'm not tipping because I want my money, I want to hold on to my wealth, and I don't want to give it. No, that's not the point of like how I feel about this. It's more like there needs to be like people need to make living wages without relying on tip. And I feel like that's not the culture, and that's not what we're pushing for. Like
in North America.
in North America, yeah. It's more like, oh, it's okay, your tip makes up for it. And actually, I found this out recently that I didn't know. So in Canada, your tips are non-taxable. Okay?
Yeah.
Your tips are
and
non-
this is why why they rely so
Exactly.
much on tips.
But apparently in the US, your tips are taxable. They're part of your income. I did not know this.
You know what? I feel like U.S. tipping culture is also tricky.
Also
like
very
they trick you. So because I got
Yeah.
tricked,
Oh,
and like I was
what?
like a little bit upset about this afterwards.
Oh, shit.
So like I said recently, I was in Miami for a couple of days,
Right.
and then so we went to this restaurant. I like ended up paying for the party's meal just because it was like I think 4 or 5 of us, and then it was just easier to pay with one card. So
Okay.
then I did it. I paid tip, and then I went back to the restaurant, and then like I was like tabulating everything up, and then I was trying to figure out like what everybody owed. And I'm like, okay, there's like $17 that's unaccounted for. I'm like, I don't understand who or where the $17 came from,
Yeah.
but like it's just not part of my calculation. So I read the receipt again. So
shoot.
a lot of U.S. restaurants include tip as part of their bill. Right, so when the bill comes, tip is already included, but nobody tells you this, obviously.
Yes.
Right, and then when you swipe your card or whatever, like you do your tap,
It asks
they will
again.
ask you to tip on top, like even more tip.
Oh, I
so
feel so
me being the
gross.
dumbass, right, I tipped an extra 15% on
shit.
top of the 15% that was already included plus the tax. And
Oh my
like I'm not
God.
gonna ask my friends to pay that, so I ate it, but then I feel really gross. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like that was dishonest, you know?
And now that we kind of touched on this, and you two travel a lot more than I do, I'm practically a hermit at this point. So you guys obviously see the different tipping cultures in other countries, in other continents, right?
Regions of the world, yeah.
Regions of the world. And is it like tip isn't as big of a deal?
There's no tip. There's
it
no
just
tip
doesn't
anywhere
exist.
else but North America. I don't
Yeah.
Well-
actually, don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's the case, but like when I travel to Asia, if you leave money as tip, like people will chase after you and be like, "Sir, you forgot your money."
Yeah. Actually, that totally happened to me in China. We didn't even leave a lot. Like I think my friend and I went to a bar and had like our bill was like $500. Okay, I think we left like
Where
$10.
do you go? Oh my god! Wait, hold on.
They had gold swagger.
Hold on.
500
Sidebar.
500 yuan, so it's not a lot. It's not, we
500.
each had like 3 drinks, but it's 500 yuan. We left like $10, okay, which is like nothing. We're just like, I don't want change, just keep the change. The guy actually chased us down the street and was like, "You left your money." We're like, "Oh, that was for you guys."
Dang.
Yeah, and then they will say no, like I don't
Yeah.
want this.
Is
Because
it-
I don't know if they think that we're gonna scam them or whatever, but like no, they truly they're like, we don't want it. Like
Is
we
it
don't
like
want.
you think it's like a pride thing? Where it's like
No,
It-
I
what
don't.
they-
I
where
don't
it's
think
like
it's.
Culture.
I just don't think it's part of the culture to
Yeah.
understand this.
so like they just can't comprehend. It's just an input that has no output.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
why are you giving me extra money?
And because like all of their expectation for whatever they provide as service or
Yeah.
actually no, like for goods, mostly for restaurants, right? Like they don't expect tip, but for like things like services and things like that, if you give them like a little extra or whatever, they will say thank you. But like I don't think that's expected
No.
anywhere and at all.
No. With a caveat, I will say recently, I have traveled to Europe. I went to Portugal and Spain. If you are going to a very touristy area, like for example in Lisbon,
Oh yeah.
that was like tips was expected. Having said that, they're not even looking at a percentage. Literally, it's like leave an extra few dollars for your meal. Your meal could have been $100 and you just leave an extra 5. Like they're already happy. Like it's something. They don't expect a percentage of your meal. So like
Like probably like a culture, like a tourist
Exactly.
mini culture that developed,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Like it's a mini culture. So like normally over here, if you spend $100 at a restaurant, you're leaving like $15 to $25, right?
Right.
Over there it was like you leave a few bucks and they're already like thanks. Yeah, like they don't expect it, even in the touristy areas. But I think because of the number of travelers from North America, they do catch on like, oh, you guys tip. So there's a little bit of expectation, but not to the extent that we have it here.
Like I think here is just so crazy. Like I understand it before when I think food is still reasonably affordable. Like even now it's still reasonably affordable. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I can tip on top of this. But then now they're like, I think the whole thing, honestly, it started with COVID, which is like, hey, we are gonna charge a little bit more because restaurants are struggling, and that was everybody's understanding, right? Like nobody disagreed with this, and then so nobody was kind of like, oh, like restaurants shouldn't charge more. And then but like now that you know, like it's kind of like past that point, the prices are still the same, and then the tips keep going up, and I'm like, okay, like chill.
I know.
And then like the very few times I actually go eat out at a restaurant, like this is not like a food court or like whatever, like when I go out to eat at a restaurant, I really think to myself, I'm like, how do people do this now? Like that's insane.
It's true. And actually there's another culture in Asia compared to here that I think helps me when I think about my spending too, is in most of Asia and Europe, I think even, when you buy things, the price you see on the item, the price you see on the menu is already tax included.
Oh yeah.
So like it's very easy. I'm like, oh, I'm buying a $15 bowl of ramen. I'm buying a $15 bowl of ramen. If I tip on top of that, to me, it's like, oh, it's an extra $1 or $2. Versus here, you got to do this like mental math where it's like, okay, the noodles were $20, but then there's tax on top of that, and then there's tips. So the $20 noodle is really 27. Like there's so much to think about before you even get to the tip of it. So to me, it's like,
for Canadians, it's even worse in the US, because then you're like, oh, okay, on top of this conversion, and you're like, I just paid $45 for a bowl of ramen. What is happening?
Exactly. Like that to me is bizarre. Like it does feel like when you look at a menu, it's like this whole thing is a lie. Yeah.
Like I literally, it was just like, oh my, I think okay, again, Miami. I'm calling Miami out because this is actually ridiculous. Like, okay, we paid, I think at one point we paid like a $15 for like 1 cup of Coke Zero, and we're like, what? Because it was like okay, it was like $6.99, and then there was like tip on top of this, and then it was like my stupid like 15% on top of that, and then there's conversion. Jesus. I'm like, bro, we just paid like 15 Canadian dollars for 1 cup of Coke Zero. What is happening?
Yeah.
Dang.
Right? And
that's like a
whoa
1,000% increase.
Oh my god.
In revenue. You know, it's funny when you mentioned something about like evening out the bill. Like just even numbers, you know, just like a nice round number. That's usually the lowest tip that I would go when I really had a bad time. You know, if my bill was like $24.59, I'd be like, oh, perfect, 24 cents.
Wow.
Damn. Okay.
Like I would legit like do shit like that, because like, and then when you eyeball me, I'd be like, we could have had a better time, brother. But
have you guys gotten chased down because of like low tips?
No, not. Okay, even when I have I think this is the Asian part in me.
Tell me more.
This is the Asian part in me where I cannot walk out of a restaurant without a tip if it was like a sit down meal. Even when I had a bad experience, straight up bad experience, like the food came out cold, it was the wrong order. Literally, like again, it's that experience where I was like, hey, I just wanted to know, you know, when our meal is coming. It's been half an hour. And instead of saying, hey, we're busy, I'm really sorry, it was like, can you not see I'm busy? The restaurant's busy. So your food will come when it comes. Like they gave me shit for asking about it.
Do you still tip?
I did still tip. Yeah. Because like I just can't. I can't bring myself to walk out without tipping. Like I gave a low tip, but I didn't not tip.
I saw this millennial meme where it's like, you know, millennial, like you go to a restaurant and then millennials like, hey, there's a rat in my soup.
Yeah. Oh no.
And then server's like, oh, sorry, we'll get you another one. And millennial's like, oh, okay.
Okay, that's me.
And then at the end of the bill, it's like, oh, tip 15%. And it's like, and it's such a millennial thing where it's like, you know, which is honestly is admirable, but to a
but at the same time, like,
fault, of course.
Really, like you could have walked out of that restaurant.
Yeah, obviously, right? But it was just so funny to me, and it's just so on the nose. And it just reminded me, sorry, a small tangent, when I ordered Timmy's and I got a different drink. I don't drink coffee, you guys know I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
And the lady gave me coffee because they were busy. And I already walked out far away, right? And I took a sip and I was like, ugh, this is coffee.
Oh shit.
And then as I'm taking my step, I'm like, am I gonna be a millennial today or am I gonna be a boomer? So then I'm like, you know what? No, I really need my tea. So I'm gonna go take a step back. I'm gonna go turn around.
You forced yourself.
And I'm gonna go tell the lady, hey, this isn't my drink.
Honestly, even listening to this story, I have anxiety.
I know, me too. I'm just thinking the same thing.
My heart
I'm
is
like,
pounding. I'm like, oh my god, like this is so uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, right? I'm like, okay, I'll go back. I'll just say it's the wrong drink. Like you rehearse it, right? And you're like, this is what exactly what
And
I'm
then you're
gonna
like,
say.
hi, I'm
Hi.
so sorry.
Yeah.
like, why are we apologizing? We made a mistake.
Which is so cool, I think. I think we're so fucking damaged. Anyway,
This is like a generational
it's a
curse.
generational thing.
I have another question. We've been talking a lot about the service industry in terms of like food and beverage. Okay, I had almost got in a fight with my friend's ex-boyfriend about this before.
Tell me more.
Do you tip when you go have massage?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
It depends.
I do. Like like it. Whoa, okay, John. Relax.
Okay, whoa, what?
Hold on. I want to hear this.
Because it's funny. Stan, continue, Stan.
No. So I go to people that like I've known for a long time, and they really go out of their way to be like,
Okay.
hey, like this is what you need. This is what we're gonna do today. And then oftentimes they will be like, hey, I'm gonna keep you for an extra 10 minutes if you don't have anything else, because then we can do these extra things. So it's like
Okay.
they stretch, and then they like, because I have back problems, and I
Right.
have really tight piss, blah, 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 whatever the muscle is called.
Okay.
But then they're like, yeah, let me just do some extra stretches for you. So then whatever. And then so like because they're nice to me, I'm like, okay, like I'm very okay with like tipping extra, and then like because tip doesn't come out of the insurance, right?
Yeah.
So like I give them the tip.
Yeah.
Right. But so like I do. But if it's like like if I just walk into like a massage like
Like one of those chains, right?
yeah, like the chain ones or like whatever, like I don't plan to go back, and then they're just like, okay, like whatever, and they don't really kind of like talk to me, or like if they don't do anything like
Extra. Like they don't feel like they don't do more than
like if
just
they
massage.
feel like they're just kind of like there because it's their job, like okay, cool, like, I'm happy to pay you what I owe you, but like maybe no tip. I also tip on my haircuts.
Okay. I do as well. Yeah. So I have two lines of thought. I'm very in line with you in the sense that like if they do give me something more, like they tell me like, oh hey, I noticed this part is very tight, we're gonna do XYZ to help you out. Like if I do feel like they're giving me a service, not just like this is a practice routine, I'm gonna go through the routine and then like they don't even speak to you and then you walk out, especially in those chains, sometimes I don't tip. But if I do feel like, oh, this person actually gave me care, like they asked me like, where are you sore? Oh, you had this previous injury, I'm gonna do this and that might help you. Like I do tip. However, for a very long time, I had seen like, people write online, and I've also spoken to some professionals where they're like, they see like RMT, they are licensed professionals. So they see that as a professional service. So they don't expect tip. And there was one sort of chain downtown. I won't name them, but like they're pretty prominent downtown. Like reasonable price, but like on the higher end of the range. They never even turned the machine around for me. They just was like, the service was $160 tax. End of story.
I think that's how it should, like for me, like that's kind of like the regular expectation.
Yes.
If people expect tip, then it's like, why?
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, even at that place downtown that I went to, I had a phenomenal experience. It was one of the best massages that I've had. I've gone back to them because of that.
I thought this was gonna go another direction, to be honest with you, when you started this story.
No, it will. Wait for it. So yeah, at that one downtown, they don't expect it. They were like, literally the guy's like, I'm a licensed professional. Me doing this for you, like this is expected of my professionalism. And their price, like I said, it is on the higher range. They're like, we've accounted for this. Like we're not expecting you to tip us. I really enjoyed that. So quite a few years ago, I had this conversation with my friend's ex who was training to be an RMT. And when I was like, oh, I don't always tip at my massages, he literally flipped out. He's like, how dare you? If you ever show up at my clinic and you don't tip, like you're never coming back. Like you're supposed to tip. Like he went off on me, and I'm just like, what are you doing to deserve the tip? Like, what are you doing to earn that tip from me? Like, why is it expected?
Say his name.
Don't.
Like,
I have to beep it out and
and
cut it out.
Quite honestly,
Wait, you can beep it up, but can you say it so I never go
No,
there?
don't. Just
so
more
like,
work for me.
I just feel like even as a restaurant server who is expected to get tip, I don't have that kind of attitude where I'm like, don't come to my restaurant if you don't tip. Like, I don't have that kind of attitude. But for him to kind of go off on me, and he's like, how could you do that? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, your insurance covers it. And I'm like, okay, bro, my insurance covers up to $70
There's a
per
limit.
visit. Nowadays, a 1 hour visit is over $100. So it's not like I'm getting a free massage in the first place, okay?
Yes.
So if my insurance was like, I'll cover 100% of whatever price, no limit, then yeah, absolutely, I'm happy to tip, right? I'm not losing any money. My insurance covered it. But they don't anymore. Most of them don't. So like, I am already paying out of pocket for this service, and I thought you were a licensed professional. Like, you're going into every massage expecting them to tip anyways. I don't feel like you're giving me service. You're just, doing your routine. So it's like, we had a whole conversation about that, and he was very triggered about it. And I'm like, I've never had that experience. But again, nowadays, depending on where I go and like the service I get, I do tip based on that. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have the same experience.
So basically, the less audacious the person is, the more deserving they are of the tip.
I wouldn't say deserving, but I would be more willing to. Like,
Sure,
if they're not as entitled and like demanding
Correct,
of
yes.
it,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
truly just provide the service, like a service level that I think is like, you know what,
Appropriate. Yeah.
it's appropriate, then I would tip. But I wouldn't come out the gate going like, how dare you not tip me? Like, I feel like that's a bit strong.
Yeah, there was a time when I got a massage and the lady was like, "Oh, that's it?" Like, for the tip.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. And I
Wait,
was
at a
like-
massage? Dang.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah.
You're like,
And
that's
then, like,
all it,
yeah,
that's all
I
it
mean,
earns.
that's what it was worth, And she's
It's
like,
true.
"Oh, okay," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "See ya."
Oh my
you know,
god.
And it's just it's just a matter of that situation. It's cool because tipping culture now, and I guess you guys are right that it's very North American.
Yeah, I
And
think
there's
so.
a lot of threads and a lot of memes about North American tipping culture and how it's actually just like, it's actually very dystopian at the very root of it all. It's like, yeah, actually my job doesn't pay me enough. That's why I have to rely on tip. And now it's making me
Yeah.
look like the bad guy that I'm demanding people for tip.
Yeah.
When this literally makes it or breaks it if I get to buy myself a treat from my groceries, like add it to the grocery list, right?
I mean,
Or
we
they
know
just-
the history of how tips came to be, right? It was basically like, when it first started, it was basically when slaves were finally freed or something like that. Like, slave owners didn't want to pay a living wage, so they came up with this tipping culture to be like, oh, patrons can tip you and you can make up for it that way. That's how it came to be, and it stuck. So the history of it is actually very predatory.
North American slavery.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we kept it. So I feel like we need to correct course to somewhat, so that it's not like you need to rely on tip in order to survive. Like, I feel like that's very fucked up, like how it came to be. And I feel like we need to correct course and not lean more into tipping culture and be more like, people need to make a living wage instead.
A living wage.
Yeah.
And I think it's also kind of sad when like it's like a feel good story of like, oh, look at this restaurant. They have a post that says, we pay our servers
Oh my God,
the
I
right
know.
amount so that you don't have to give tip.
Right.
And everybody's like, oh, look at that. Oh, it's so nice. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, but like, isn't that just like what you're supposed to do?
It's not just the bare minimum.
Yeah. It's like, wait.
And everybody's like, oh, they're so nice. And I'm like,
And
my
you know
sister
what?
in Christ, like,
in
this is
fairness, it's like, I feel like some restaurant owners that are like truly genuine, wholeheartedly like good people, I feel like they have a need to defend themselves now and be like, we don't pay our staff like minimum. We actually pay more than minimum. Like, I've actually seen that before, and I'm like, what happened? Why do business owners have to defend themselves now?
it's just devolved into such a
It's bizarre.
Anyway, as always,
good topic, Stan.
yeah, no, truly, like I had like 4 more questions that I wanted to ask, but I because honestly, every time I'm like, I don't think we have a full hour to talk about this, but we
No.
always do. So maybe I will keep the rest of the questions for maybe a follow-up if this episode is well received. But what I'm hearing is, yeah, I think North America, like, we got to check ourselves. And
America
maybe-
sucks. Don't come here, guys.
Oh my
Whoa,
God.
Have you guys seen
bro.
what happened recently south of the border?
No!
Let's not.
Oh my God.
Let's not.
But I think like, unfortunately right now, like, tip is still necessary for it shouldn't be the case, but the survival for a lot of our service staff, right? And if you do want to show your appreciation, tip, but also, you know, like, I'm telling myself this, like, don't be pressured to tip like when you don't really feel like you need to,
Yes.
you know, because like
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man, like that is a little bit crazy to me.
I feel
Like that's kind of what I'm getting from today's
Yeah.
today's conversation.
I think that's accurate.
Are you guys done your beer?
I just finished mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I have about like 2 sips left.
I will say, like, I really like fruity beers. I still remember, like, one of the beers we had before, like the mango wheat that actually had like mango puree in
Ooh,
it.
that one was
I
good.
love fruity beers, but this one, it's kind of an in between. It doesn't taste as like fruity like fruit juice, but it still tastes like beer. So I'm like, you know what? This is still in my fruit beer category, and I like it. But it's one of those where it's like, I still want beer, but something that's just fruity. You know what I mean? Like
Correct.
not super strong like an IPA. Like this would be like a nice beer to have.
I hate fruity beers.
Literally, I'm
this
like,
is-
John, what's your good thoughts on this beer?
No. I hate. Let me finish.
Jesus.
Let me finish. I hate fruity beers, but this one isn't as fruity as what Eddie defines. And I've had
Okay,
really fruity
yeah.
beers where it's literally just like fruit syrup, like whatever that flavored
Yeah.
syrup is, into that beer. Which again, actually, we have time. It's really super tiny tangent. I was at this speakeasy in the Philippines, and literally it's like an alley, but it's so bougie inside when you walk in, and it's so sussy. My cousin took me there, and they put flavored syrups into their beers.
Oh,
So like you would have like they have like hazelnut, they have like applewood, they have like a bunch of different syrups, and they would mix it to your beer, and they just have a beer that they brew themselves, and it's so good that like
oh,
it's like it's whatever flavor you want, but
Right.
like carbonated beeriness.
it's
like
like the bubble tea of beer.
Yeah. It's like an adult version, but then like the bartender's like, you know, vested and with like
Oh,
a
fancy.
necktie and everything. Yeah. Like it's bougie.
Okay.
Like, it was really cool, and it was like,
Yeah.
and the ambience is super dark. Anyway, this is kind of remind me of that they had like a raspberry syrup touch, and it's still beery. It's not as fruity as the other fruity beers that we've had,
Yeah.
which you guys like, and I'm pretty much, you know, okay with for the sake of sponsorship.
Fair enough.
But yeah, this is Granite Brewery Ringberry Ale. You have any thoughts on it, Stan?
I like it. Like, I think, like you said at the beginning of the episode, I think this is for like a light beer for anyone looking for that. Anybody who's looking to maybe have beer for the first time or to get introduced into beer. I think this is kind of like a juice cross beer type situation.
Yeah, a
where,
little bit.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's like it's easy. You know, that's what it is. Like, it's easy drinking.
Correct. It is
Yeah.
easy drinking. That said, we have our recos. I actually have a reco.
No,
Alright, go first.
start us
And
off.
I got into it this week, yeah. Surprised that it's another content.
Oh,
It's another media content you have to. I don't know if you guys know Mythical Kitchen. They're like a
Yes, I do know them.
Yeah, they're a subcategory for mythical company, Good Mythical Morning, Red and Link, YouTubers. Anyway, Mythical Kitchen, they do a show called Last Meals. It's
oh.
called Last Meals.
Why does
yeah.
that sound so dark?
It is because it is.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because it is. So, and they invite people, and those people will then be like, "Hey, what would you have for your last meal?" And then they
Oh
will cook it.
damn. Whoa.
Wait, like
that-
normal people or convicts?
Okay, not convicts, obviously. It'd be like, for example, the episode I really like was Terry Crews. Terry Crews was amazing.
Oh.
Gordon
okay,
Ramsay's
okay.
on it too.
Gotcha.
And they
Okay.
would tell them, you know, oh, this would be my last meal, and they would cook it. And then they would have like, it would be like an interview. So think Hot Ones, but like,
last
Meal. Oh, that's kind of
Yeah,
cute
yeah.
actually. I like that.
Yeah, but also like it does get dark because I mean it is last meal, right? I mean their slogan is like there's two things that's certain in this world. One is you have to eat, and two is that everybody dies. You know.
Damn.
So I
Okay.
know. So
Okay.
but but it's actually like it's really cool because as lighthearted as they make it out to be, heavy topics people don't really feel comfortable talking about, right? But they do, and they try to as much as they could. Maddie Matheson, I don't know if you guys know.
Oh my god, I love him. He's so good.
He's on there too. And he's just like, what the fuck is this show about, bro? Like, why are we talking about such dark things? This is fucked up. Like, because they're like, you know, who would you have? Like, who would be the person that you would have if they were like the last person you'd have a meal with before you die, you know? And like, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Anyway, it's a really good show. I really enjoyed it. That's my reco. Check it out. Last Meals. There's a bunch of episodes now. I recommend the one with Terry Crews because it has a lot. It has a lot to do with masculinity and like, and actually surprisingly parenting, which I'm not a parent.
Yeah.
But sorry, let me just quote one thing before I move on. The one thing that really stuck to me that he said is like, your parents, when they raise you, it's not like they raise you as best as they could. They don't really have guidelines, right?
Yeah.
So most of the times, often than not, we are some way damaged, you know, because there's no book, right? There's no
perfect life, right?
Yeah, there's no rubric. So his analogy was like, you're handed a house, right? And and they left, and now only recently that you'll find that you have a basement leak, or like one of the windows are like, you know, it's leaking, or like it's letting out air, and then you don't go and look for the sellers and be like, hey, what the fuck, man, you gave me such a shitty house.
Yeah, you just fixed the problem.
Exactly, you just fixed the problem now, and that resonates to me a lot. And I know that was a 5-minute tangent, but Last Meals, Terry Crews. That's my reco. Who wants to go next?
I mean, I have one that's kind of similar, not similar, but like in the same wavelength.
Tell us more, Addie.
I saw a TikTok recently that like what the person said really resonated with me. It was this guy who does like cooking videos online, like cooking TikToks basically, and he just came out with his own cookbook, and he was describing like his, you know, he was cooking one of the recipes while talking about it. And what really resonated with me was his recipes are like, if you want to make homemade ranch sauce, go for it. If you don't have time for it and you got to buy a package, you know, ranch dressing powder, or if you need to just go buy a bottle of ranch dressing, go for it. Never judge someone for what they are, you know, able to provide and cook for, because it happens a lot, right? Online, a lot of people are like, oh, that's so unhealthy to cook for your kids. You should make that from scratch. Or like people that call out moms that are like, oh, I can't believe you are feeding your baby store-bought baby food. You should be making that yourself and mashing it yourself. Like we've come to such a judgmental world because it's so easy to do so online. And he was basically like, my recipes are designed for you to do however you wish for it. If you don't have time to make like Alfredo sauce from scratch, use a jar of Alfredo sauce. That's okay. What you just need to do, you're trying to provide for your family, and we should not be here to judge you. And I felt like, you know what? That really resonates with me, because like honestly, sometimes after work, I don't have the energy to make stuff from scratch. Like people that are like, oh, it's so easy to make noodles from scratch. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna store buy my spaghetti dry, and I'm happy to just cook that. And my tip is like, hey, don't feel guilty about what you do to put food on the table for your family. Do what you need to and do what you can. Don't feel pressured. Don't feel guilty about it.
Dang.
Yeah.
That just applies in life too.
Yeah, exactly. Everything. You perform and act within your means.
Stan?
Oh, interesting. I actually had a couple of recos, but I feel like this one maybe was more in line with kind of what both of you said
on team.
So it's like half cooking, half self-help.
Ooh.
Right? I read this on Threads, the Instagram version.
The Instagram Twitter.
Sorry, yeah, the Instagram version of Twitter, X or Twitter or whatever. It's about like more accountability stuff. It's like, because I've kind of recently kind of going through, like, not stuff, but like I'm like reading a lot about self-help ever since I started listening to John's reco from the very first episode. Yeah. So then like I'm like all of it, because of the algorithm, all of these things starts popping up. Of course. So this is from X, right? I'm gonna just do a quick summary of this. But it's about like accountability 101, right? The thread goes, say you're cooking with somebody and then you hand them an egg and then they drop it, right? And they're like, oh crap. And then they go, oh, I meant well. Okay, well, great, but you broke the egg. And then they go, well, that's not my intent, right? And it's like, okay, great, but you still broke the egg. And then you're like, okay, fine. You know what? Like, it is what it is. It's fine. Correct the action, please. And then here's another egg, right? And then they go and then they take it and then they drop it again, right? And then they're like, oh no, shoot, sorry, I didn't mean to break the egg. And then I'm like, okay, great, but you still broke the egg. And then you do it again and again and again, right? You keep handing them this egg. And then eventually at one point, you just have to come to realization, which is like it's one of two things that are true. One thing is they are intentionally breaking this egg, right? Or alternatively, it's just they don't know what to do with this egg. Right? So like take it how you will, like this egg can be a representation of many things, but eventually you have to stop giving them the opportunity to break this egg. Right?
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, right, one of those two things are true, and either way this egg is getting broken. So unless corrective action is actually taken, nothing's gonna change. And so this is about accountability in kind of like your own life, in the lives of people around you, and kind of like how you interact with them. And you know, this is in line with cooking and also mental health. But this is just something I read like very recently that like
damn, bro, that's pretty heavy.
I like this. I like this analogy, I guess. Yeah, I like this analogy. I think it applies to a lot of things, like in your life, parents, like being an employee, like
whatever it is, friendship, parental relationships, romantic relationships. And I feel like a lot of people will go with like, oh, it's okay, they didn't mean it, right? Or like, and then this is like kind of perpetuating a problem. And then so if you kind of think about it this way, where it's like, okay, great, but like the end result is that this egg is still broken, and at the end of the day, it's still like, no matter what your intent is, if the result is this, you have to make a decision to provide this egg for breaking or not.
Right.
Anyway, you know, sit on this a little bit. I just thought that this resonated with me a lot. And then so I recommend everyone to maybe think about this for like even like a split second. And then if this means nothing to you, great, make an omelet. But if this means something to you, great, then maybe like, you know, take some actions to either correct your own actions or start drawing boundaries for people around you. So hopefully this helps.
I like that.
But by the way, my comment of that being heavy is not a complaint.
It provokes thought, is what you mean.
Yeah. Also, I one cherry on top, I think too, is that you might think that you're the one passing the egg, but also you probably dropped many eggs.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like sometimes like you can maybe apply this to yourself and say like, oh, do I have to take corrective action so I don't keep dropping this effing egg?
So it's pretty obvious to be like, oh, I'm the one always giving people chances, but also, you know.
Yeah. Reverse is also totally true.
Also
absolutely.
Anyway, we're a thought-provoking podcast.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you guys always say, oh, we just talk shit. Like you guys are garbage promoters for this podcast. That said, Addy, hit us up with a CTA.
Oh my god, CSL. Oh no, CLS.
CSL.
What is happening?
It's the alcohol. So CLS, comment, like, and subscribe to our social media on TikTok and Instagram. We are Beer Talks TO, so that's BEERTALKSTO. Beer Talks TO.
Beer Talks TO, that's us. That's us three. Addy, Stan, and John, your favorite parasocial friends.
Who?
Addy, Stan, and John. You know, I'm gonna cut that part and put Addy.
I'm still gonna tell Sally.
Nobody will ever know what happened here.
The longest beep of like
exactly.
podcast.
Yeah. And by the time you guys listen to this episode, you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. So
I'll be
anyway,
like, I don't even know this even happened.
I know.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We are way out of time.
Have fun editing.
Have fun editing. To me, future John. I'm sorry, this is coming from past John. Thank you so much. We'll talk at you guys again next time. Cheers. Everybody.
Cheers.